Is it ready? Okay. Hello, YouTubers. This is Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews, here with John Thacker.
Hello.
He is the director of films such as called Motivational Growth. And so, how's it going?
Great. How's it going with you?
It's going good. Um, I have some questions, and we could just talk a little bit. So, what do you want to start with questions, or?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. That sounds great.
All right. I've only seen your one film, Motivational Growth,
Yeah.
and I reviewed it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you had based the character sort of around Reanimator, because I kind of felt the vibe of Jeffrey Combs and the guy, I forgot his name, but they kind of bounced off each other like Jeffrey Combs and the guy from Reanimator.
Ah, cool. Yeah, no, I hadn't. I, of course, was a big Reanimator fan. It's hard to say that I made a film with Jeffrey Combs in it and not be a Reanimator fan. I'm a huge Stuart Gordon fan, so I, of course, I'm a Reanimator fan and a Robot Jocks fan and a From Beyond fan and all those good films. I'm also a massive Jeffrey Combs fan from Star Trek and from Frighteners and from all kinds of cool Jeffrey Combs gigs. But yeah, no, it wasn't based in any way on the Reanimator. I think what you see there is actually just two great actors working together really well. And I think that in the Reanimator you had that, and I think definitely in Motivational Growth, Adrian DiGiovanni and Jeffrey Combs have a definite rapport, which is actually very interesting. I flew to LA to record Jeff Combs from Chicago. I was in Chicago at the time. My studio is now in Seattle, but at the time it was Chicago, and we flew to. I took Adrian DiGiovanni with me, and we flew to to LA and shot Jeffrey Combs. I actually brought Adrian with us so that he could be in the room with Jeff as they kind of recorded their thing. So the performances you're seeing are based on performances that actually were taken when we were in the sound studio. So Jeff is actually responding to Adrian, and Adrian's actually responding to Jeff. It's just that Adrian had to, like a month later, reenact those responses in front of a live puppet.
Yeah, and what gave you the idea to do Motivational Growth? Like, was it just some thought, or was it like a dream, or was it?
Well, it comes from I've got a book of ideas, massive, giant, like book of ideas, and I was actually pitching a completely different film, $1 million movie about scientists that I couldn't get pitched because it would have been my first film at the time, and it would take a lot of it. It's a bonkers movie, the science movie. And it's the kind of thing that I don't think anybody wants to like give money for. So instead, I somehow got money for a guy talking to a giant chunk of talking fungus. But it was a much cheaper movie. Motivational Growth is 1/4 of the amount I was looking for the science movie, and so I basically had to find what ideas I had that would kind of fit that budget. And luckily, I do have a big book of ideas that every time I have an interesting idea, I write it down, and I tried to sort of build a movie around that budget, and I think we did a pretty fair job. One thing that was really important to me was that I didn't build a film just to fit a budget, but make something that was worth watching. So before I accepted the budget, we had to make sure that I had something that I'd like to make and that it would be really good to actually have. And I kind of fell in love with the idea after we kind of came up with it. It's based on a bunch of really crazy ideas, but if you do a Google search for Don Thacker interview, you will have that question answered 10,000 different ways. So go ahead and do that. Let's talk about cool other stuff.
All right. Also, one more thing is, how'd you come to get the funding for everything? Like, how long did it take to get?
Well, for Motivational Growth, we lucked out in so much as we had some very supportive family members. We also had some very supportive business people, which was really great. I actually didn't sell interest in a film, which is a low-interest property. You very likely will lose your money. If the film's good and there's a good business behind it, of course you won't. But if it's an independent film that you don't know anything about, then it's a high likelihood that you'll lose money. So instead, I actually created a business proposal and sold investment in the business, and we have since sort of paid that stuff off, which is pretty great. But yeah, so we originally, I think we put together and it's not that I think, I know we put together a sort of a T-shirt company pitch. and then flipped after pitching that, flipped it and said, hey, if you'd invest X dollars in a T-shirt company with a product, you should invest X dollars in a film company with a product. Our first product would be a first feature film. Our first feature film is motivational growth, and there you have it. So some awesome, 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 unbelievably cool family members, plus some really cool business shucking and jiving and salesmanship. Look. Making a film, producing a feature film, and getting it out to the public is 20% making a movie, and 80% the business of making a movie. That's kind of what we've fallen into. Imagos Films is the company that I've been running now for 5 years that successfully makes films for like every day. That is where the ability to sort of have longevity comes from. Actually, the business portion. I know a lot of artists who want to make movies and don't want to deal with the business. And my advice, if I were to be at a place that I could give advice, I don't really think that I am, but if I were to be at a place where I could give advice, I would say, worry about the business. Get somebody to worry about the business. You don't have to. Find somebody. Get a partner who will worry about the business. But the business of making movies is a business. The making movies is the product, and it's the small part. It's the manufacturing of the iPod. It's not the selling of the iPod and the design of the iPod and all that. That's not to lessen the actual art and beauty and wonder of making films. That's the only reason I want to do this business is to create beautiful art. But you can't do it sustainably without the business portion. So we worked a very long time to make the business work before we got started, and it has been going for about 5 years now. So it seems like we did a thing. Maybe not the best thing, but a thing.
Well, I thought it was pretty good, the movie,
cool.
when I watched
Excellent.
it.
Great.
Yeah. And is there any movies you're looking forward to in the future? Not that you're making, but like upcoming films that...
Hell yeah! Have you seen the Mad Max trailer, man?
Yes,
oh my
I
God!
have. Yeah.
Oh, my whole world just exploded. I cried. I actually cried. I have witnesses that could tell you tears were coming out of my eyes. I've been waiting for that moment my entire life. It's the culmination. You've got an Academy Award-winning director. Granted, he won an Academy Award for Happy Feet, but who cares? An Academy Award-winning director making the ultimate culmination of all of his experience and time and effort, and CGI and practical and all the wonderful shit, all coming together to make the first film he ever made. And I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm flailing about it. Also, tomorrow and the next day, I'm doing this really crazy thing in Seattle. There's a cinema called the Cinerama, which is, by the way, I don't know when you're going to post this. So tomorrow being the 14th, I believe? 14th, and then 14th, the 15th. Yeah. So the Seattle Cinerama is doing marathons of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, full extended edition. So that's like, 16 hours? And then they're doing The Hobbit full trilogy. And it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna sit in a theater chair for 900 hours watching both really great and really terrible Hobbit movies. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also I'm looking forward to Divergent Insurgent. Why am I looking forward to that? It looks so stupid. But the first one was better than the Hunger Games, which I'm one of the 5 people on Earth who think that, and only 4 of them, the other 4 of them, made the movie. But I loved Divergent. I thought it was pretty neat, and the Insurgent thing is cool. I am looking for the next Judge Dredd movie. I don't care that it doesn't have a release date yet, but it's gonna fucking come out, and I'm gonna watch it. I've made a plan. The minute it's announced, I'm gonna buy 5 tickets in one day and just watch it back to back 5 times, 10.5 hour. I'll watch all of it. Just Dredd. I'll watch Dredd 2012 on a loop for about 40 hours before I watch. I love Dredd, man. That movie was incredible, and I cannot wait for the sequel. There has to be a sequel, absolutely. If Tom Hardy gets to be Mad Max, we absolutely need Carl Urban as Dredd yet again. That was incredible. Such a good movie. There's, let's see what else.
Jurassic World?
Jurassic World? I don't know, man. We seem to forget that there are 2 other Jurassic Park movies that we fucking hated. Jurassic Park was great. Jurassic Park 2, do you even remember Jurassic Park 2? Jurassic Park 3 was poop. So who cares? Jurassic World feels like kind of a grab. I'm only going by what I've seen. I am a giant dinosaurs fan. I will be there. Look, I'm going to buy the ticket. We're all going to buy the ticket. We're all going to be in the theater watching it. But just my opinion is I would like to be pleasantly surprised. Jurassic Park was a moment in cinema history that I've seen Jurassic Park recently in the theater, and it was just...
me too.
It holds up, doesn't it? It's incredible.
I know the 3D was actually really well done.
Totally. It was one of the only films I really super enjoyed in 3D. Jurassic World looks interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know if I care. I was burned by Godzilla. I was like the Godzilla fan. I was so excited. I didn't really care for monsters, but who cares? That guy could obviously make a movie, not a movie I cared about. But Godzilla looked good. It looked like it was going to be this big, dark, edgy, and it was nothing. It was
Yeah.
worthless. The human characters didn't have to do anything, didn't say anything. Ken Watanabe just all he did was look up into the middle distance and go, oh, the whole movie pop up out of
Yeah.
nowhere, just oh, and then I don't know, it was a
And then
mess.
smile at the end when he walks back onto the ocean. What was up with that? What he
Yeah,
did was so
I don't
good.
know, man. Whatever. It was there was a monster came destroyed a city and we clapped at the end because we all know it's supposed to be Godzilla. It was dumb. I'm sorry. I thought it was
Yeah, did
stupid.
you ever see that how it should have ended for Godzilla, where
Yeah.
everyone cheers, then
Yeah.
Superman comes, he's like, oh, when he saves the world.
Right, right, right. Can I make a point? I'd like to point out I have
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
Man of Steel. I don't know how many times. I like that movie. I'm in that camp. Apparently, there's like a vitriolic war between people who like and don't like that movie. And I think that if you don't like that movie, you don't like movies, man. That was a good movie. However, there's only one sticking point that everybody likes to bring up, like Superman doesn't kill people. Well, okay, fine, but he's not Superman. He's a guy. If you don't like him killing Zod, that's totally cool. And also, there's some weird thing. If Zod's a Kryptonian, he's a Kryptonian. How does he kill Zod? That's difficult. Fine, fine. Let's argue that, but let's not pretend that Superman destroyed a city full of people because he didn't. He didn't. Watch the movie. Use your
Yeah.
eyeballs and watch the movie. Turn it on. Pause it. Freeze frame it. Write down on an Excel spreadsheet when you think he's killing all the people because it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Zod comes, starts destroying the city. They start to evacuate the city. And where is Superman at that time? Literally on the other side of the planet. He's on the other side of Earth. Like the planet we live on? He's on the other side of it, messing with the thing. Zod destroys some part of the city. They evacuate the city. He comes back to fight Zod in an empty portion of the city. Zod throws him into a building that's still populated. The one time he interacts with other people in the city, and what does Superman do? Take him to space. He goes to space because he doesn't want to screw up the city. There's not a point in that movie where he screws with the city.
Yeah.
The U.S. military blows up a city. The terrible Kryptonians blow up a city. Superman doesn't blow up a city ever in the whole thing. The only guy that Superman kills in that movie is Zod. And yes, we can have that big nerdy argument. But Superman did not blow up a city. I'm sick of hearing people yell at me about how Superman destroyed a city. That's jumping on a bandwagon. Jump on a bandwagon that has seen the movie. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my
Also,
little rant. I got a bunch of those.
Yeah, what about Pacific Rim?
Fuck Pacific Rim. I'm sorry, I hate that movie. It was a dumb movie. That was a dumb movie for stupid people. The general concept of that movie is you have to be tied into these things with your brains, but except that they're full of buttons and levers and shit. So what's the brain doing? Who knows what the brain's doing? And
Yeah.
is it so that you can connect with the other partner to run the thing? No, because you're yelling things at him. You're saying, "Hey, shoot the gun." Well, you're connected via brain. Now, why would you have to yell that? Like the basic premise of the movie is thrown completely out the window. Also, I felt no threat. I felt no impetus. Sizes kept changing. At one point, the guy carries an entire fucking tanker ship like a baseball bat. Like that thing's like 3 city blocks long. But then
Yeah.
another point, he's carrying a small fisherman vessel with 2 hands. Like none of it. The scales are all off and everything. Sure, it was
Yeah.
great. You can love it all you want. It looked pretty, but so did Transformers, and it was a piece of shit movie too. I don't know. Like, where's the awesome? Like, we give more shits about like characters and story. And if you tell me that was like comic booky, one-dimensional, like the Asian girl with the sword kind of thing, like, come on, man. Like, that's out of like 1991 fucking crappy comic books. Like, I want to see something. I want to see the money spent. If you're gonna spend the amount of money it would
200
take
million
to
or
cause,
something.
yeah, if you're gonna spend spend the amount of money it would cause to like, or it would take to fix homelessness for a year in the United States on something, give me some story or something. Give me something to like go off of, rather than look, a shit ton of pretty pictures. I'm a huge Guillermo del Toro fan. Please don't get me wrong. I think I've loved every single film that guy has made. I know that The Mimic was a piece of crap. I still liked it. But fucking Pacific Rim. I don't know. I love everybody in that movie. I love the art of the movie. I love all the stuff. I just don't love the movie.
Here's
wish
a
I could
big
love the movie.
one. What about Prometheus?
Oh, Prometheus, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Prometheus. I was a guy. I was just like I am right now with the Mad Max trailer. I was like ripping off my shirt, like, oh my God, Prometheus is gonna save the world. It's the best movie ever. I have
Yeah.
tears.
Yeah, same. Well, they have the alien music in the background of the trailer.
Yeah, right. Oh God, it was so good. But that movie was crap. Damn, I
Yeah.
mean that's the movie. Look, the one image everybody always jokes around about, with the wheel ship falling forward and Charlize Theron getting trapped under the wheel. Like
Yeah.
that's how dumb that movie is. I thought the engineers, if they weren't the space jockeys, but if just the engineers as their own thing, really effing cool. And at the beginning, when the guy's at the giant waterfall and he like disintegrates, that's amazing. The first 10 minutes of that movie made me like I wanted to cry. It was beautiful. But
Yeah.
the rest of that movie made me want to jump off a cliff. So what other upcoming movies are coming out? We were having that conversation. That was a cool conversation. What other ones are coming out? I don't have a list. You seem to have like a list or some knowledge.
Oh yeah. I do trailer reaction reviews, so I know some upcoming movies.
Oh, so hook me up with some more.
Some The Boy Next Door looks really stupid, but it
Don't know
looks
anything
like
about that movie.
it's Jennifer Lopez. That's probably
Oh,
what. It's
okay. I'm not against J-Lo, but I just don't know about that movie.
yeah, the Shark Killer. No, the Terminator. Just
Oh,
Shark-
Genesis. Okay.
Yeah.
Originally, I was really pissed off about Genesis. I was like, you can't reboot Terminator. That's stupid. Terminator's Terminator. That's like rebooting Gone with the Wind. Why would you do that? That's ridiculous. But when you first go back and it's like Sarah Connor and it's some other chick and you're all pissed off about it, and then you see the old Terminator and you realize that the guys from the original Terminator, Kyle Reese is sent back thinking he's in the original Terminator, but they had already gone back before and rechanged everything. That's cool, man. That's a nice Nabokovian time loop like contingency thing that they worked out where he went. That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. Granted, I was also excited for Terminator 4, which was like the worst movie ever. But I'm excited. I'm willing. I'm excited. I think I want to see it.
I haven't seen Terminator 4, but I heard that in the trailer they spoil something really big.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. If we're not talking spoilers, that's not. But yeah, that was kind of a mess. It kind of took the wind out of the sails of the film because you're in the film and you already know. And when the moment comes, it's like, oh, I already know. It's a kind of like forgive me, viewers, if you haven't seen The Usual Suspects yet, you deserve this if you haven't seen that movie. But that's like seeing the trailer for The Usual Suspects and saying Kevin Spacey as Kaiser Soze. Like it doesn't really work. The movie's not dead if you haven't seen The Usual Suspects.
Yeah. And did you hear about Ghostbusters having all of a female cast?
Yeah, I am super behind any film having an all-female cast. I think I am not, unfortunately, I don't identify as a feminist. I identify as an equalist. I think we're all cool people and all deserve equality and all that stuff, and I understand the feminist movement, the whole balance of like thousands of years of oppressive men, whatever. I'm trying to get past all that. I'm a fantasy maker, but yeah, I think everybody should be in things. And the idea of an all-female cast does not make me blink an eye any more than an all-male cast or an all whatever. Yeah. It's great. I think it sounds really cool. I don't think, though, you'll have to forgive me, I don't think it's Ghostbusters. We didn't like Ghostbusters because it was a bunch of people in Ghostbusters costumes. We like Ghostbusters because it was Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis.
Tom, wasn't he? Yeah.
What?
No, nothing. That's okay.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry. We like Ghostbusters. We like Ghostbusters as Ghostbusters. I don't think you forget the gender of the cast or the sexual orientation of the cast or whatever. I think it has to do with the characters themselves. I think if you would have put, you interrupted me accidentally and I almost didn't say Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson's a Ghostbuster. We're not leaving Ernie Hudson out at all. That guy's a Ghostbuster. Anyway. If you took any other guys and put them in there, any other girls, any other people in the year Ghostbusters came out, I don't think it would be Ghostbusters. It's a combination of us, like a perfect little shape of these people all together made that movie. I think making it with any other people or doing a handoff to other people, I don't think it's gonna fly, man. I think it's the cast as much as the story.
Yeah, but they can't get Dan Aykroyd because soon he passed away.
Dan Aykroyd? No, Dan Aykroyd's still around, but Harold Ramis passed away.
Harold Ramis, that's right.
Dan Aykroyd's still around talking about UFOs and stuff. That guy's bonkers, but he's great. He's great bonkers. He's smart bonkers.
And I get people mixed up from celebrities all the time. And did you hear about the new King Kong that they're doing? Legendary is doing a new King Kong.
Doing another King Kong movie.
I heard that they're doing Skull Island sort of title like that in 2017, and before that they have the untitled The Great Wall or something.
Yeah, both of those sound kind of dumb to me. I think we're beating a dead ape on that particular one. Speaking of dead apes, did you see the new Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
Did you sleep during it? Because I slept during it. What the hell happened in that movie?
I gave it more of a chance than I thought I would because I loved Rise.
Yeah, Rise was good.
And I ended up really enjoying it because it didn't like copy the same plot as the first one, like or have recurring characters or anything.
Yeah.
So it kind of went off in a different direction, kind of like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And speaking of Evil Dead, what'd you think of the remake?
I hated it. I
Really?
hated it. Yeah, I
No?
completely hated it. I thought, yes, it's a fine Cabin in the Woods horror movie. It's fine. It's totally cool. But without
Yeah.
Sam Raimi's touch, without the camera going pop zooming and all the stuff flying around, it just didn't. There's a Sam Raimi for a reason. He made a movie that was his movie and it worked. You can't put somebody else. It's just
Yeah.
literally the movie that capitalized on the five guys or five people or five whatever in a cabin in the woods and made it something interesting. You can't now just go and replace it with just five random people in the woods. I didn't buy it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the drug story. I thought there was too much story. Honestly, it just
Hmm.
everything was a mess. I didn't
Yeah.
care about any of the people. I wasn't blown away by any of the gore. I you can watch Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn right now. You will laugh. You will be shocked. And I've seen that movie 10,000 times. It's still a great film. I don't remember anything. I remember that they changed Ash with a girl, which again is not a problem. It's just that how do you Bruce Campbell is a single entity in the universe. You can't like put don't call her Ash, don't whatever. Just do something else. I don't know why we did it. I've heard that they're going to make another one with Bruce Campbell in it. I would love to see that, but I do not want to see another remake of that movie. That was a mess.
Yeah, I heard it was going to be a TV series.
Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, Ashley
Yeah.
Williams is Bruce Campbell. He made a character, man. You can't replace it. I understand that there's this big artistic sort of thing. A character can exist outside of an actor, but I give actors more credit than that, man. I don't want to see anybody but Peter Weller be RoboCop. I don't want to see anybody but the Chin be
Or
Ash.
Ripley from Alien be Ripley from Alien.
Yeah. Sigourney Weaver needs to Ripley. That's her.
Yeah.
It's just her. I mean, it's not Sigourney Weaver, but she is that character. So let's. There's guys. I didn't hate every movie. I mean, I hated Interstellar. I thought that was a piece of crap. It was a
Yeah.
beautiful, really expensive, well acted, well produced, incredibly awesome sounding, shitty story. And I think that if you have over $40 million. Granted, if you have over $1 million, I think this, but I will give some leeway. If you have over $40 million, I don't care that it looks good. Of course, it looks good. You had enough money to found a small nation. It should look good, and the acting should be good. If you have that much money, what I need then is a beautiful story. If you have a $10,000 indie film, okay, it doesn't have to look too great, and whatever. Do your best and show me your best. If you have $1 million, man, if you have $40 million, it better. Looking good does not get you anything. You spent $40 million. Of course, it looks good. That's 40 luxury homes or 40. Let's take care of the city of Detroit for a year. That's 40 years taking care of the city of Detroit. I don't understand why. Oh, but it looked good. Well, of course it fucking looked good, man. Can you fathom $230 million? It's baffling. That's money you and everybody else could live off of forever. I don't understand why we were. Oh,
Yeah.
but it looked great. Well, yeah, of course it did. He had all the money. Of course it looked great. Of course Matthew McConaughey acted in it. He's been in 500 things. Of course he acted well in it. Nobody's surprised at that. Give me a story that wasn't dumb and circular and backward and didn't follow the science. People get all hung up on but the science is real. It's not really real though. I mean, read the book that the guy produced. It's not. 80% is mostly science and 20% is completely made up, and it's the worst 20%. Then they spend 40 minutes telling you about it. Look, Gravity was a piece of shit. Piece of shit for science. Beautiful movie. I watched Gravity, I don't know how many times, 3 or 4 times in the theater. Just watched it again. Went back to IMAX, watched it in IMAX. It was a great movie. Scientifically, it was ruining. It was ridiculous. That person couldn't survive the first 4 minutes of that movie. But I didn't care.
Yeah.
Because they didn't spend the whole movie telling me how the science of physics worked and how she could totally survive hitting that station at what is effectively 130 miles an hour. Like, they didn't tell us any of that. They just showed it to us. We don't need to know how the dinosaurs work in Jurassic Park. That's a conceit that Jurassic Park did. They showed you the science of that in kids speak. They showed it in a dumb little cartoon, so you could never question it. Dinosaur DNA. They did that so that they could deliver technical information in a way that was completely non-technical, so you couldn't argue with it. Fuck it, it's dinosaurs. That was amazing, right? But in Interstellar, we get 40 minutes of science that isn't actually functioning science, and we're supposed to tie that to a story that is basically, I don't give a shit about my kids. Oh my god, I super care about my kids now. It doesn't really fly for me. Gravity was a better space movie. Freaking Solaris. Go watch Solaris. Just turn off Interstellar. Go watch Solaris. Brilliantly acted, brilliantly shot. I don't mean George Clooney Solaris. Go look up an indie film, man. By the way, I'm not just all about indie films. I just told you I love Dredd. I guess Dredd is technically an indie film. Shit. Big Hero 6 was an awesome movie. Go see that movie. That movie was a great movie. You want to see a science movie? That movie was correct. Everything that they said scientifically in that movie was great, and it made me cry like a little baby. It's a good movie. I cared about the brother. I'm not gonna say if anything happened to that brother, he died or something. But it's a good movie. You should watch that movie. I like movies, man, but it makes it sound like I hate every movie because everything you're bringing up is a movie that I don't like. Vanessa, hey you, come here. What movies came out? What did we see? Did we see movies? Are they good?
We saw Birdman.
Birdman was awesome. Birdman was cool and super not like super arty. They did the conceit is that it's one shot, except it's super not. I mean, it's like saying the conceit in Star Wars is that they're in space. Like nothing that happens in that movie is like actually in space. But it's cool because we just say it's in space, and there it's Star Wars. Same with Birdman. It's one shot, except not really. The camera's jumping around and flying, and there's obvious cuts. But it's totally cool because at no point did it feel like this auteur artistic bullshit. It was just fun.
Yeah.
It was a mechanism to travel us through the thing. It wasn't that weird Russian movie in the Ark or whatever the 10-hour or whatever. I don't care about that movie. It wasn't a Children of Men. Look at how great I am. 14-minute one shot. No, it was a whole movie done in one shot, and it was fun, and we got to play with it. What else did we see?
Well, that you like. Under the Skin and the Rover.
Under the Skin, incredible movie. Go watch that movie. That's subtlety. It's beautiful. It's really cool. The Rover. Man, that's a contender with me, man. Dread 2012 and The Rover. If you put those two movies in front of me, it's a 50-50 shot which one I'll immediately want to watch. Go watch The Rover. Fuck, man, that's such a good movie. Guy Pearce just mind-blowing. Robert Pattinson, what the hell? That guy can act. He acted a billion circles around everybody in that movie except for Guy Pearce, obviously, because Guy Pearce is incredible. I was stunned. With that movie. Go watch The Rover right now. Pause the video. I'll give you a second. Now you're back. Have you seen The Rover now? It's amazing. The best movie. It's such a good movie. I love The Rover. Nightcrawler was amazing. Dude, we need to give Jake Gyllenhaal every single Oscar that was ever made for actors ever. We need to fire whoever wrote that movie. That movie has no story. We start out with a crazy guy who could do anything. He was basically invincible. We end up with a crazy guy who could do anything. It's basically invincible. Nothing's happened. He accidentally killed a guy. Who cares? Nobody cares. It was not a story. It was a great character study and fucking beautifully shot. The acting, mind-boggling. But I don't care. The story sucks. If the story sucks, it doesn't matter. What? The Guest. Oh, did you see The Guest, Brian?
No, I didn't.
Oh shit. You got to see The Guest. That movie's incredible. It's got the guy from Downton Abbey, the sort of like pussy husband guy. He's in it. He's such a badass. It's like what Drive wanted to be if Drive were cool. And Drive is also one of my favorite movies. I'm not shitting on Drive. I like Drive. It's just like
Isn't The Guest directed by Adam McNard, who directed You're Next?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm one of those film people who doesn't really give a shit about film people. I just like making movies, man. Like I'm not gonna like hobnob and shoulder push and all that other stuff. I just like watching movies. I went to see The Guest. I have to admit I went to see The Guest to make fun of it because the trailer was basically like, guy from Downton Abbey's coming and he's gonna be really creepy for 40 minutes and it's gonna be stupid. And it ended up being like one of the best movies I ever saw. Did you see? I
was right. Adam Menard directed it.
Good stuff. Your phone has vindicated you. That's the best. No, that's really cool, man. The Guest. Go see The Guest. If you guys haven't seen The Guest, go see The Guest. It's one of the best movies of 2014. Shit, I don't know what else came out. Just keep talking about movies. This is fun. How long do you have?
Right?
Does YouTube have a cutoff?
I don't know. It says something about 30 minutes, but I don't know if that's really what it's going to be.
Is that your DVD collection back there?
Oh, yeah. I have a
Do you
Blu-rays
have
in
a
a
copy
box.
of Motivational Growth in there?
What?
Do you have a copy of Motivational Growth in there?
No, I don't. I was trying
That's
to get
sad.
it, but then he said it was limited, so I didn't have time.
Oh, we ran out. That's the worst.
Yeah,
I think
this
we're
is
doing
it.
Amazon will have it next month, January. Amazon will have it. Everywhere else will have it. You can get it on GOG.com, GOG.com. You can also get it. Go to Devolver Digital Films and check it out. You can get it all kinds of places. iTunes, Amazon Instant. You can download it. I'm talking not to you, Brian, because you have a copy, but I'm talking to everybody else.
Yeah.
But the DVD Blu-ray will come out in real life on Amazon and other distributors pretty soon. Not distributors, other distribution channels. Also, you'll be able to get it at Redbox soon. It's pretty neat. If you're one of the Redboxists, if you relate Redboxes to DVDs and not making free phone calls, you should go check it out.
Yeah.
So ask me more
Probably
questions, dude.
Yeah, I probably have over 1,000 in my collection. They're
That's
all
a lot of plastic that will degrade and not function when the mylar peels off in 4.5 years. That's so sad. You should start digitizing that shit. Get yourself a Drobo. Get yourself five terabyte
Yeah.
drives and make yourself a collection.
I'm kind of the guy who's like a collector and can't let go of the physical, you know?
You're like a DVD hoarder.
Yeah.
That's great. I am all digital. I have a server in my condo that runs all of our movies. I have all the discs. I buy the discs because I want to support the people and support the art. And if I can buy directly
Yeah.
from the artist, I buy directly from the artist. But then I take it, unwrap the disc. If I'm lucky, I actually open the disc backward, which you can do. We can do with CDs. You can do with DVDs and some of the clamshells. You can actually open them backward. And I pull the disc out, burn the disc, put the disc back in the thing, wrap it back up, and put it away. Keep it in a big storage container somewhere. And that way, if I ever need it, I have it. But I like digital. I like being able to sit. I might just go boop, and then there's like whatever movie. The Guest, there it is. Of course, that movie's not out yet. Whatever, yeah.
What do you think about Sci-Fi Channel?
Oh man, I have a complicated relationship with sci-fi, not because I like or dislike any of its stuff. It's that I liked its stuff. Way back in the day, sci-fi played actual science fiction and had a bunch of cool stuff. Lex was on there, man. Fucking Farscape was on there. Farscape was so cool. I'm the guy who sings the Bruno G theme song to himself when he's happy, so I know all about sci-fi.
The only show I ever watched on there was Stargate.
Stargate was cool. I watched like 7 seasons of like 90 seasons or whatever of Stargate. That was pretty okay. But yeah, then they changed to like the SYFY thing and stopped really doing science fiction. But again, my relationship was complicated not with their content because I haven't really watched it very much, but with the fact that I recently shot a feature film and needed a whole bunch of crew. But the crew, the local Seattle crew, had all fucked off to somewhere else in Washington to shoot Z Nation, the sci-fi original series.
Yeah.
So I ran out of crew. I had to like fly some people in, and it was a big mess to try to shoot my movie without crew, and they were all on Z Nation, which I don't know anything about the quality of Z Nation. It had all the crew people that I wanted, so at least the crew was great. But I have a complicated relationship with sci-fi because they stole my people.
Do you know who Roger Corman is?
Do I know who Roger Corman is? Do you know who I am? The reason I asked is because we actually did a thing for Roger Corman. If you go to amigosfilms.com, go to our work, you can see that we did a thing for Roger Corman Film Festival that Roger Corman actually accepted and liked. Yes, I know who Roger Corman is. How old are you, man? I'm 35 years old. Of course I know who Roger Corman is. That's ridiculous.
21.
You're 21. Okay, so yeah, it seems odd to you. Roger Corman might be a weird thing. At 35 years old, man, I grew up with Roger Corman stuff.
Well,
I of course know Roger Corman.
Yeah, I used to start watching Piranha.
And Piranha 2, Jim Cameron's first movie.
Yeah, and he does a lot of Sci-Fi Channel movies now, like Sharktopus and Piranhaconda.
Yeah. But he's been doing that stuff forever. We just didn't call it those things.
Yeah, no, it's more hybrid creatures.
Yeah.
What about Sharknado? I'm getting kind of tired of Sharknado.
I don't actually like any of those movies. I'm sorry, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not like super arty Mr. Auteur guy, but I want, if I'm gonna sit down, if I pay my $12.50 or I'm gonna whatever, I want to watch something that somebody like cried about. I want to watch something that stressed somebody out. I want to watch something somebody worked their asses off.
Well, they got cold. Got cold in New York, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. As much as they suffered for that.
Yeah, and no, I watched a Roger Corman movie recently called Sharktopus versus Terracuda.
Wow, Terracuda. Who comes up with this, man? Those people they're either geniuses or completely high.
Yeah, I made one. I came up with one a long time ago called what was it? Boacuda. And then they came out with Terracuda, and I'm like, damn it, and I can't use the Barracuda in there.
Nope, Terracuda sounds amazing.
I know. It's a pterodactyl and a barracuda. And I also came up with crab, bat, shark, like half crab, half bat, half shark. Because they're doing a sequel to Sharktopus vs. Terracuda called Sharktopus vs. Mermantula. So it's
Mermantula. This is all ridiculous. I think we should change the subject matter, as I am getting slightly disgusted by it.
All right.
Not really, I mean, but yeah, we should change the subject matter.
I know. What about horror books? Like, do you ever read horror books for like not like things based off of movies, like Jaws or Jurassic Park?
No, not really. And I don't really. I mean, I think both Jaws and Jurassic Park were novels before the films.
Yeah, they were.
I think my favorite one is probably um, The Hellbound Hearts by Clive Barker, the novella that led to Hellraiser.
Yeah,
That's probably my favorite written horror story. I've read all of the stuff by all of the
Clive
writers that
Barker.
you'd expect. Pardon?
I thought you were gonna say Clive Barker.
I read a bunch of Clive Barker. It gets a little sexy for me. There's
I
a
read
point at which, like, yeah, man, talking about a dick is really impressive the first 40 times, but I'm done with the dick talking. No, I think, yeah, I read a bunch. I guess I'm into books, super into books, but as a filmmaker, I'm super into writing and making movies right now. So I think I haven't been reading as many books as maybe I could. I used to read like a book a week. It used to become my thing. I read all of the Philip K. Dick books in 1 year. All of the major works of Philip K. Dick. There are 54 of them, and I read 52 once a week. One a week, and I called it my year of Dick. It was amazing. I had Dick for a whole year.
I read a book in a week. It's actually the fastest and longest book I've ever read, and it's this one, Chronos Rising.
Oh, cool. Cool, man.
Yeah, it inspired me to write a book, and I started writing. I got like 11 pages into it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah. And I had another movie I was going to talk about. It released last year, I think.
It was The Battery.
No, I've heard of that though.
That movie's a great movie. Everybody should see The Battery. That's a cool ass movie. If you like movies, watch The Battery. That's a good movie. It's a zombie movie with very few zombies in it, but it's got intrigue and awesome relationships, and it's directed really well by a guy named Jeremy Gardner, who is really incredibly cool. And I wish he would return my calls. Jeremy, why aren't you calling me back, man? That's a joke.
Did you I mean, what do you think about Scream Factory? That they released all the Blu-rays from old vintage '80s movies.
Cool. I hate optical media. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm going to be
yeah,
that
that's
divisive
right.
guy. I'm
I
going to be
already
the guy that
forgot.
nobody likes. I'm sorry. I hate optical media. I hate it. I think it's dumb and stupid, and I think we should be done with it. And I'm sorry. You'll have to forgive me. If you are under the age of 40 and you are collecting VHSs, you're a hipster, and you should stop, because that's a shitty medium. Everybody agreed that it was shitty. Even the people who made VHSs agreed that VHS was shitty. And I'm sorry that you grew up with it, and it makes you feel really cool and super homely, but there's not a filmmaker on earth who wants to see his movie on VHS unless he's under 40. If he's 22 years old, he wants to feel what it's like to have a nostalgic feel to his movie. But the truth is, man, that's not how movies were. People used to skip owning them at home. You have to pay $35 to get a shitty transfer at a weird aspect ratio. Not okay. Yeah, I don't like. I like. I want to see what the filmmaker made. Everybody wants to complain about what George Lucas did. They just didn't like Star Wars. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but George Lucas hated the original Star Wars. It didn't work. It wasn't what he wanted. What he wanted was the fucking extended edition of Star Wars. The Phantom Menace is what George Lucas wanted to make all along, and that's what he made. You don't actually like Star Wars. You like the accidental fucked up version of Star Wars. It's like you like the Star Wars that got run over by a car, which is great. You're totally okay to like whatever you want to like, but don't yell at George Lucas for ruining your childhood because he finally got to make what he wanted and it wasn't what you wanted. That's not fair to the artist. Like a thing, love a thing a lot. I personally love Star Wars and hate the Phantom Menace, so I'm not gonna argue, but I'm not gonna say that he fucked up. I'm also not gonna say somebody fucked up by releasing their movie in 4K or 8. You know what? Here's an example. Peter Jackson released a 48 frames per second 8K fucking film. He released it to theaters at 48 frames a second, 8K. Some films, I don't know of any theater that I know that plays 8K, but I know a bunch played 4, and I know they all played 48 frames, the ones I went to, and it looked like weird. It looked like a soap opera. It looked like video from 1977. It did, to everybody, and everybody's like, it looks bad. I don't think it looks bad. I just think it doesn't look like what you're used to. It's exactly what Peter Jackson wanted. Do you think he put $500 million into the development of a feature film trilogy and didn't get what he fucking wanted? He got exactly what he wanted. And what he wanted was that thing that you don't like. And I'm sorry that you don't like it, but it's the artistic choice. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't fuck up. He made exactly what he wanted. He saw that movie. I make movies, man. You look at a scene 1,000 times before any other human being sees it. He saw exactly what that movie looked like, and he saw it in the best theater with 8K, 48 frames a second. He saw it every single step of the way, and he approved it, stamped on it, and put it out. And you just get a bunch of uneducated people saying like, "Oh man, he used a GoPro in the water, and did you see the GoPro that he used?" But it wasn't a GoPro; it was a Red. It's a red epic with a 5K sensor. You know how I know? Just go to the World of the Rings website. You can see the behind-the-scenes footage of them chucking. They built a custom box for it. They threw the red in the water. It looks shitty because it's against 8K 48 frames footage. That's why it looks different. It looks like a big mess. Your brain is used to the crazy. Anyway, doesn't matter. What I'm trying to get to is get what the filmmaker wanted. There's not a single filmmaker who wanted to make a movie, release it on VHS. Watch it in the way that Tarantino doesn't want to make a movie that's not in film. He calls watching digital film TV in public. That's fine. I don't agree, but that's a filmmaker saying about what he wants about his movies. I totally agree with that. I agree with his sentiment. I don't agree with the opinion, if that makes sense. A filmmaker should have his film viewed in the way it was meant to be. I'm in the camp where it's totally cool for David Lynch to tell you how to tune your television to see his movie. I think it's a bit pompous and arrogant, but I also think it limits the viewer base. But I do agree that an artist should have his art seen the way it was meant to be seen. VHS is no way to see art. Yes, there are artists who make VHS movies. And if somebody were to say to me, Don, would you like to release Motivational Growth on VHS? Of course I would. Of course I would. But this is what I would like to do. Pack it in with the Blu-ray of the movie. You watch the Blu-ray 235x1. It's beautiful. You watch it in high definition. You love it. And then you get to watch a VHS tape copy of it. That's cool because you get that sort of nostalgia thing or whatever. But you got to see my movie the way we shot it. I want that to be forever. I just shot a movie in 4K. Watch the movie in 4K. Fuck you if you don't. I'm sorry. Watch it on your iPhone because your iPhone can display HD. Watch it. Look at it. Just do this. Watch my movie. If you want to be a pompous dick and say you shouldn't watch a movie on iPhone, you're just telling people not to watch your movie. Watch the movie on an iPhone. Watch the movie on an iPad. Just watch the movie. Just don't say that you're like precious for some like shitty medium that died before it got to like go anywhere. Sorry, that's my little rant. You're gonna hear like 15 rants, man. You don't say much.
Oh, it's because I'm really tired, but that's okay. No, actually, I have a couple of VHSs, not to be a collection, but I know a company called VHS PS, not personally, but they take VHSs and transfer them over to DVD.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought them so I could ask them about that, and they said, we'll get back to you because we're doing a lot of other projects right now. But
You have to forgive me for saying so, but that sounds like the worst.
I know.
You're taking a VHS and putting it over to DVD. You get one shitty standard and port it over to another shitty standard.
Yeah, I bought like a whole bunch of them because they're rare 80s movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't look that bad, actually. I'm really surprised. They could have gotten like the worst, cheapest copy they could have, and they didn't. They just got the ones that look the best that they could find, you know?
Nice. That's fair. And you know what? Look, I'm not trying to shit on the medium as much as the collector. The medium is great. If there's movies that aren't released in any other format, go see them on VHS. That's amazing. That's great. Go see the movie. You want to see the movie. I guess I'm just, as a filmmaker, I don't care about the medium. I don't care about the techno. What camera did you shoot it on? Fuck you. What camera did they shoot Alien on? Who cares? Nobody cares. Watch the movie. Watch the story. Watch the end product. That's what we care about. You collect VHSs and that what makes a movie good? That means the movie's not good enough for you to like it on its own. I'm sorry that you like all the additional shit or whatever. That's great. If you like Friday the 13th but you think your Friday the 13th experience is made better because you have a big fucking fat-ass padded clamshell, that's cool. But I like Friday the 13th for Friday the 13th, and that's why I like it. Because it's a good movie. Doesn't need a clamshell. It lives on its own.
The other reason I would collect a VHS is because the cover art, the art on the boxes are not always that bad.
Yeah, you know what you do? Google VHS Friday the 13th cover art. Now you can make fucking posters out of it. Who cares? I don't get why this like weird mentality. When rarity was a thing, I understand having the rare object. Yeah. Rarity does not exist in the media any longer. You can't do it. The minute you make there's one copy of this VHS, it's the only one with this artwork. The first guy to own it's going to take a picture of it. That picture that's going on the internet, I can have it. I don't care. The rarity doesn't work anymore. I know guys who collect this shit and they think that they're doing a thing. Like, oh man, look what I got. But everybody can have that now. It used to be that having the one copy was the big deal. You were the guy in the block. You were the guy in the freaking city who had the thing. It doesn't exist anymore. That idea of rarity. There are other things that you can be rare about, but the preciousness around false rarity is you're spending your time and your energy and money in something tiny, and I don't think you should spend your time, energy, and money in that. I think you should go to Kickstarter and help some people out, or go to Indiegogo, or whatever. Spend your money getting people to finish their dreams, not collecting shit that's going to sit on and die and it's going to rot in a grave somewhere. That's messed up.
I used to a while, like maybe about half a year ago, I went to Salvation Army. I was like, ooh, VHS, I'll try to be grabbing some of those. And when I brought them home about a week later, I'm like, wait, why do I have these in here?
Yeah,
because I
what's
already
the
have them
comment?
on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But then I realized I bought them for the cover, and I'm like, exactly like you said, I could have gone to Google and printed it out. And
Yeah.
although we don't have a printer, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have spent the money you spent on those VHS buying a printer. They're only like $30 now.
I know, right? Or I could have gone to my college school and just printed it out there.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's like, why are these pictures of Friday the 13th in the printer?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I usually don't buy VHS, as you can tell, but
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not trying to disparage the collector, his collection. Who am I?
yeah,
I'm nobody. I'm just some random dude on the internet saying an opinion right now. And God knows, YouTube alone, not including the entirety of the internet, but YouTube alone is full of assholes with opinions. What do they say? Like, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, right? Like, yeah, I got my opinion. Fine, it's my dumb opinion. Do
yeah,
your thing. Have your good time. If you like it and it doesn't hurt anybody, that's the best. Do that. So I'm not trying to disparage anybody their collection. I just don't agree with it, and that doesn't mean that it should matter. Because my opinion doesn't really matter unless it's anything that, but like, if it's something
they'll
that I'm
change
doing, then it
something.
matters. Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's my thing, then it matters. You want to talk about me about my opinion about motivational growth? What I say goes. I made it. But if you want to talk to me about VHS collecting, dude, I'm just some guy who doesn't do a thing. I don't like I don't really, I like vanilla ice cream more than chocolate. I'm one of those guys. If you get into an
same.
argument with me, there's nothing I can say. I'm going to say I like that more than I like the other thing. I'll give you all kinds of different reasons. The flavor profiles, the curve of it, the shape of it, whatever, fine, I don't care. But, yeah, it's just an opinion. Everybody's got them. That's cool.
Yeah,
My opinion will matter. Your opinions only catalyze and matter when you turn them into something, when you create something with your opinion. If you create something with your opinion, now it matters. But it only matters in the context of the little thing you made. So my opinion matters in motivational growth, matters in the feature film I just shot, matters in the feature film I'm shooting in 2015, matters in all the little mini feature movies, things, little short film movie things that we do for indie games. That's where my opinion matters. It only matters for the 2.5 to 90 minutes that you're watching it. Beyond that, I'm just some dude on the internet saying some dumb shit.
and God, what was I gonna say? The I had recently gotten feedback from somebody who is a troll, but I went to their YouTube channel and they had all their opinions about how white people can't review movies, and it was like their opinions totally didn't matter, but they made fun of me for what I do, and I'm like, yeah, well, I love your channel, and I went to their channel, I was all like, great video, great video. That really got underneath their skin, but it was funny.
I find that a weird opinion. White people can't review movies. I don't.
I know.
Why is there a racial thing? Why is that a thing we talk about?
The
White
weirdest thing is
people
that
can't review movies? Like what?
the weirdest thing is that he's like, I'm not being racial or anything. I'm being honest. I'm like, that's
Oh,
not.
that's the dumbest thing.
I
Look,
know.
man, I don't think race should count.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'd like to. You're gonna put me on a soapbox right now, Brian, and I hate it. I don't think you should be colorblind. I think you should respect and understand somebody's culture and background and history and all that wonderful stuff. But I don't think reviewing movies is something that's arbitrated by your race. I also don't think that anything is really arbitrated by your race except for your cultural identity and those beautiful, powerful, wonderful, lifey things that come from being part of a long-lasting culture and all the wonderful stuff that comes along. Man, using race to limit somebody is the worst thing. It's
I know.
second, maybe not the second. Using anything that's inherent to somebody's genotype is the worst thing. Saying that you're a woman and can't do a thing because you're a woman, that's the worst thing. Saying somebody you can't review a movie because you're white, because you're black, because you're African, of African descent in Africa, because you're Asian, because you're any. Screw all that. That's ridiculous. We're 1,000 years past the point where that mattered, and it never really mattered back then.
He was more talking about like how they don't know how to review movies, not that they physically can't, but.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I don't think that matters.
Well, yeah, I know. I
That's
totally
the weirdest thing,
disagree
man.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that because I'm white. If you were to tell me people of African descent or colored people or Asian people can't review movies, I have the exact same response. I don't. That's ridiculous.
I know. I know. I have people who are friends that are black and friends that are Asian, and I'm not like a racist or stereotype or anything, but and I have people on YouTube who are doing movie reviews and they're black, and I have no problem with that. It just when that person said that on the video, I was like, that's a little stupid.
Yeah.
In layman's terms.
Yeah, I think it'd be totally cool to say somebody's terrible at reviewing movies or whatever, or like has a difficult time with it. That's cool. You can call somebody out on being a shitty movie reviewer, but don't make it like that's the weirdest thing. Anyway, let's move on. That subject's dead.
Yep.
What else you got?
Let's see. What about? Oh, how about what do you call it? Scores for movies. What do you think is some good scores?
Oh,
Like,
like soundtrack scores.
yeah, music. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think anything Basil Polidoris ever did. If you watch RoboCop, if you watch Conan the Barbarian, if you watch The Hunt for Red October, man, that guy's amazing. Alan Silvestri is really great. He has this cool brassy thing in almost everything that he does. Watch anything from Alan Silvestri. Predator 2, Predator 1, those are cool. You get a big, thick brass in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Scores are cool. I think Hans Zimmer has kind of reached a zenith with his sort of pushy, loud, poundy thing, and I think it's kind of becoming a joke.
Yeah.
Not only because you go in expecting the big pushy loud, but it's kind of like Al Pacino's gig. Like when you see a movie with Al Pacino now, you expect him to just yell, right? So you see a Hans Zimmer score, you expect it to just go bah! At some point. It's going to happen. So
what about the Inception music, that blah thing? That's just so annoying.
I thought it was pretty cool and innovative. It's annoying because we keep making fun of it and using it everywhere. And then everybody did it forever. Kind of like Bullet Time. Remember in The Matrix? The Matrix came out, Bullet Time was the hottest shit. And then every movie, including like a Wesley Snipes movie comes out, all of a sudden has Bullet Time. Everything has Bullet Time for like the next 5 movies or something, next 2 years. That's a mess. I don't agree with that. But yeah, no, I think scores are cool. Let's see. What has a really good score?
Jaws.
Jaws has a great score, obviously. Anything John Williams is pretty great.
Yeah, he did Jurassic Park too.
Yeah, dude. Check out The Guest again. The Guest has an incredible score, man. There's great stuff in The Guest. Great stuff. It's all that sort of.
Sorry.
It's all that new synthwave stuff. The sort of outrun core stuff. It's really incredible. It's like my favorite genre of music right now. But yeah,
he did something sort of like that with You're Next. The guy who did The Guest, he did kind of like an '80s sort of theme.
Yeah, it's very good. It's worthy. It's totally worthy. Yeah, so check that out. Drive is pretty cool, obviously, mostly because of its score. I don't know, man. Scores are great. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and as you can see, I really didn't plan out well for this because it was kind of like spur of the moment. But
yeah, well, cool.
Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about?
Ask me about the feature film we just finished.
Oh, that's right. What's the feature film you just finished?
We're in post-production on a feature film called Depth. It's tie into a major game coming out in 2015. You'll see it sometime mid-2015. You should look up on Twitter. Look up the hashtag Project Apophis. That's PROJECT for Project and Apophis APOPHIS. That'll be pretty cool. If you go to imagosfilms.com and check out our stuff, you'll see Project Apophis stuff on there. We just finished shooting a spot for an upcoming video game, which was a Western. It's pretty neat. We just signed a contract with a large company to do a bunch of spots for video games in 2015. It's all good, man. Lots of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
You should ask us how people can contact us.
Yeah, definitely. How can we get in touch with your contact?
You can go to imagosfilms.com. You can find us on Twitter at @imagosfilms. You can go to Vimeo, vimeo.com/imagosfilms. You can go to everything, man. Instagram. We have a Vine account. We have a YouTube account. Check that out. There's all kinds of behind-the-scenes stuff. YouTube.com/imagosfilms. Go literally every social account. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us all over the place. We update 8 times a day. That's this plus this many. That's a lot. Just keep your eyes open at Imagos Films. You see all kinds of really cool stuff. If you want to contact me directly, that's easy. You can call me on this particular phone here. That's pretty nice. 945-6653. That's 312-945-6653. Feel free to call me all your like robot crazy calls, whatever you want to do. Spam my phone. It's go through Google Voice, and I'll have you spam blocked. That's really easy. But I have my personal phone. Not giving that out. But this phone, fuck this phone. Call it. Mess it up. Blow it up. We got that. We got Don at imagosfilms.com. That's me. Don at imagosfilms. That's imagosfilms.com. You can also email action@imagosfilms.com if you want to get everybody and not just me, because I might be boring to you. There's that.
No, not at all. And yeah, it's continuing while I read all these links because I got to watch it again. Then I got to go on my slow ass computer to find them. But yeah, and Oh, I'm so tired. The All right, I think we should just wrap it up before I fall asleep in front of the computer.
Yeah, don't fall asleep talking to me. That's weird.
No, it's not you that I fall asleep because of. It's just because.
I don't believe you, Brian. I think you're falling asleep because of me, and that's odd.
What? Sorry, I was about to fall asleep.
Okay, let's wrap it up, dude.
All right. Well, thank you, Don, for being on my show. And
Sure, thanks for having me.
let me interview you. No problem. And hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, talk soon.
All right, sure. So have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.